Today, I'm here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio with WSBU 88.3 The Buzz. St. Bonaventure students have been broadcasting live all afternoon. You can find these donation boxes all over campus, like here in the Swan Business Center. Right now, I'm here at the Allegheny River Trail, where I'm taking a soil sample, so later on, after analyzing the soil, we can see what kind of bacteria lives in this plant community. Senior health science major Megan Ralph is going to help us through that process. This was the Volz's family home for 35 years. Now they're still trying to figure out whether they can rebuild or if they're going to have to move somewhere else. This isn't just an on-campus issue. You could be home, in a coffee shop, or at your friend's house and still lose your information if you're not careful enough.
You know, I tell people, I got a call saying my house had blown up, and I know it coming up the road, but until you actually come around the last corner and see openness where your house was.
You can see what the house used to look like and what Betty and Ronald Volz came home to Monday morning. Around 10 a.m., Allegheny firefighters responded to a house explosion on West Branch Road off 4 Mile Road. No one was home at the time of the explosion except for family dog Hemi. Homeowner Ronald told me how he found out.
I was about 10 miles plus away from my house and we heard a big explosion. And Officer Tim Peterson called me from the Allegheny Police Department, told me my house blew up. 45 minutes after the blast, firefighters found Hemi alive and well.
It was like out of the scene of a movie. You know, they part and there's our dog in the arms of a fireman. You know, it was like, it just couldn't get any better. You know, it would just brought a little bit of sunshine to a really yucky day.
Since Monday, Betty, Ronald, and their family and friends searched through the debris to see what can be recovered. You can see Betty's grandson Owen hanging out in the middle of the mess. This was the Volz's family home for 35 years. Now they're still trying to figure out whether they can rebuild or if they're going to have to move somewhere else. The family will have a better idea of their decision after seeing how much lead or other heavy metals were blown into the ground.
They're sending specialists in to check the ground samples, see if the ground is contaminated. You know, there's no sense of building here, then we'll move closer to Bonaventure's where it's easy to go to the games.
At the end of the day, Ronald's biggest concern was everyone's safety.
It was a big relief knowing, because we know everybody was safe and we just weren't worried about, you know, the good Lord was looking out after us.
Erin Lanahan, SBU-TV, New Now Next. Although the FDA is trying to regulate cannabidiol, commonly known as CBD, the industry is constantly growing. Sales in the U.S. are projected to reach $20 billion by 2024, according to Forbes. Now, it seems like you can buy the health supplement everywhere. I visited Nature's Remedy, a wellness store in Allegheny, to ask why they started selling CBD. Store manager Lisa Mendel told me about their process in choosing their CBD brand.
First, we have a lot of customers that were asking us to start selling it for health issues. And we came across this one company called Miracle Balance, and they have a sclera process that they use.
This process sends scalar waves, a type of energy wave, into the CBD oil before it's packaged, which increases the charge of the cells. The result, CBD works faster and provides you relief faster. There are still some gray areas about the legality of selling CBD, so I did some research about how to properly start selling it, and here's what I found. The FDA said they don't have enough scientific information about the safety of CBD in food, so businesses cannot sell CBD-infused food products. Recently, the FDA released a list of companies they sent warning letters to concerning the quality of their cannabidiol. Miracle Balance was not on the list. I asked Mendel if she has any concerns about the FDA.
For us, the FDA isn't a huge factor in what we do every day. You know, we're more drawn to the fact that, is this working for a customer?
Mendel also told me how much the sale of CBD makes up her business.
I wouldn't say it makes up like half of what we do, but you know, it makes up a good portion of it.
A gift from President George Washington to Seneca leader corn planter in 1792 returns to Seneca land. The corn planter peace pipe tomahawk, a symbol of friendship and adversaries.
When he gave this to corn planter, it was a show of good faith that everything would work out, and what corn planter was looking for basically was peace.
One of the cultural specialists, Albert, told me in 1803, corn planter tried to burn all gifts he received from Europeans. This tomahawk somehow survived the blaze.
Wooden haft here was actually burned beyond recognition.
Now it lives in the Aguas Trinidad, or Distinct Community Exhibit, in the Cultural Center because of its historical importance to the Seneca tribe. I'm here at the Onosequete Cultural Center of the Seneca Iroquois National Museum. Onosequete means opening of the house, just like the people here open their center to visitors who want to see the corn planter peace pipe tomahawk. This tomahawk is on loan from the New York State Museum, but people here are fighting to keep it in the Seneca Nation permanently. The tomahawk lived in the New York State Museum, but someone stole it in 1947. It floated around on the black market for years. It was anonymously donated back to the museum in 2018, and museum director David Shango couldn't be happier.
Almost like trying to find a unicorn or something, you know, it's like almost mythical.
David also told me how he's trying to keep the peace pipe here in the Cultural Center.
It goes back to NAGPRA, Native American Graves and Repatriation Act in 1990. Things that I consider significant for our culture need to come back home.
Corn planter should be happy his tomahawk is at peace once again in the Seneca Nation. Erin Lanahan, SBU-TV, New Now Next. A hall of fame full of rock stars, music legends, and now this past weekend, SBU students. I'm here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio with WSBU 88.3 The Buzz. St. Bonaventure students have been broadcasting live all afternoon. Students spoke live on air from the middle of the Hall of Fame. I spoke with student Cameron Hurst about his experience on air.
I went on the air for a little bit. Up here in front of everybody was pretty cool. Not many others get to do this, so for us to be able to it's a nice little feather in our cap that we're able to do this, each year.
Station manager Stephen Wilt explained how the Buzz broadcasts far from home.
So we use a remote broadcast system that is called a Comrex, and that's able to bring our station anywhere across the world.
I asked Wilt if the Buzz plans on continuing this trip.
We were the first college radio station to ever broadcast here, and that was in the early 90s. And then we brought it back last year, so our second year in a row doing it. So I think WSBU plans to be a good staple every mid-October here.
Erin Lanahan, SBU-TV, New Now Next.